Hey guys, it's me, Jimmy. Grab your wood, because today we're making the Bob's Burger sign. Sign me up! Oh crap. Okay guys, so for this sign you're going to need two 2x2x8s, one 10-inch plank by 6 foot, 3 red foam sheets, yellow paint, red paint, and that is all of course if you want to make the sign as mammoth as I did. But it's such an easy sign I figured, hey, why not go big? If you're making this sign as large as I am, be sure to clear off an adequate working space. It's like the same size as my dresser top, so I'm just going to do it like right here for recording purposes. But I do recommend doing this outside or a workshop or a garage or, something of that nature. Okay, as easy of a sign build as it is, I did have some trouble in the beginning part of putting the sign together, but I'll get into that later. Let's backtrack to tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need to cut your 10-inch by 6 foot plank down to a length of 55 inches, and you're going to need 2 of the 2x2 pieces at 58.5 inches and 2 of the 2x2 pieces at 9.25 inches. And then you're going to attach those pieces right to the sides of the plank, and that's going to be the frame of the sign. No routing required, no mitering required. It looks perfectly fine, but I cannot stress enough, I tell you guys all the time, be sure to drill pilot holes, okay? All right, guys, we're going to start with the yellow base coat on the sign, and that's my favorite part of painting because guess what? All you got to do is plop it down and spread it around. Which is exactly what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that if you buy the little tubes of paint, you are definitely pushing it. I had to get every last drop of yellow out to do 2 full coats. The wood grain kind of still slightly pokes through. I like it. I think it adds a lot of character as opposed to just being a solid yellow. I would recommend just stopping there, honestly. But if you want a solid yellow to be more cartoony or something, that is your call. Go right ahead. But if you're going to want to do that, then you're going to want a second tube of paint. So, just a heads up. All right, guys, well, while the board is drying, let's focus our attention on over to the lettering of Bob's Burgers. Now, for this, I just Google searched a sign, enlarged it, and printed out the individual lettering. The smaller letters are approximately 7 inches, while the 2 larger B's that start each word are approximately 8 inches. Once you've carefully cut them out, they should look something like this. So once you have these, go ahead and put them on your foam sheets, trace them very carefully, and then cut them out even more carefully. And remember, like I said, be sure to trace them backwards. That way, if there's any remnant pen left over, you won't see it because that'll be the side that is glued down onto the board. Once you have the foam pieces cut out, they should now look like this. Practically done, guys. Okay, now that the most time-taking part of it's done, let's go back to the board so we can paint the frame. Start by taping off the very edge of the board where it meets the frame. That way there's no runoff and hopefully you can get a nice clean line. Usually I like to paint these parts separate before I put them together so I know that everything's going to be crisp and perfect, but that wasn't an option. Like I told you guys before, once I had everything in place, that's just kind of how I had to leave it. I wasn't going to be able to backtrack. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I could tell you guys about that. Okay guys, so the place I normally buy my wood, it's really hard to find decent lumber and their standard lumber, and I'm not trying to be rude, so to preserve a little bit of their anonymity, I'll call this place Denard's. Anyway, so I didn't realize one of the 2x2s was not only curved, but twisted. And I was too lazy and cheap to go back and get a different piece, so I was just going to use it. And it was really difficult to get this thing in place. It took a lot of effort and much wrestling with these things. But I got it in place, and I wasn't going to backtrack, so that's why I started with the board already pre-assembled. Let's get back to the frame. Once it's taped off, you're going to want to paint it red. Now, just like the yellow, 1 tube of red is just enough to paint the entire frame. So you're going to have to make sure you get as much out of that tube as possible. Once it's painted, let it dry, remove the tape. Then it's time to take your letters and put them on the sign exactly how you want them. Check the spacing, check and make sure it's centered. And once you're satisfied, take it outside, and it's time to use your adhesive of choice and glue them onto the sign. Once you're done gluing your letters down, voila, you're done, son. Now I went ahead and added lights to mine just for S&Gs. Oh Now, I think the lights are kind of a nice touch. If you guys are interested in how I made them, comment down below and maybe I'll show you and give you guys some ideas on how to do that. But guys, this sign build was just far too easy, far too easy, far too easy.
You failed from the start.
So was the last one. The next video, we are going to amp it up and use some of this stuff. That's right, I've got some ideas. It's going to be pretty cool, so be sure not to miss it. Hit the subscribe and click the bell for notifications when that video goes up and other like videos. Guys, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down is perfectly fine. If you guys made this sign at home, be sure to send me a picture. Email should be in the description, and I will feature that pic in future episodes. You guys, thank you so much. Give me some ideas for some signs. Put them in the comments. Send them my email, and I will see you guys next time.